What is
noisemaker.
that?
I got it. It's a noisemaker. I got it at a soccer game a while back. Like a.
Lord. What? I thought the sky was opening up for a second. These headphones in my ears.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Like, oh wow. What is that for?
We used it to make a lot of noise at a soccer match. We had a bunch of these given to people, and we would, and it's got like a little diaphragm.
It's like a tube with a diaphragm, and I guess blowing in the hole vibrates the diaphragm and makes it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Wow, that thing is intense.
I'm trying to wake myself up, for Christ's sake.
You did some things today.
I had a long day, man. Oh, I had a long day. I'm Brendan. I had a long day.
Two dudes wearing hats. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go to 2dwh.com. Like, subscribe, follow wherever you watch the show. So tell me about your day.
Well, it's a holiday here in Cincinnati. I mean, it's the way it's a holiday here for most people who are fans of baseball. And I can be here and there. There's too many games. There's just too many games. 160 something. Come on. But anyway, so I wore.
There's one on the TV right now.
I wore a different hat today too. I didn't wear it like that, but
hold on. Can you do that? Can you do that for the camera? Can you put on not on that hat, on there you go. I barely ever see this. This is super rare.
Me in a ball cap?
Super. Yeah, absolutely.
Should I keep it?
Never see.
It throws it off. It throws me off. For the little bit we'll talk about like this.
It throws the logo off. Switch it back.
It throws the logo. All right.
No.
There we go.
We know where our bread's buttered.
There we go.
Anyway.
Yeah, I went down to the opening day parade, got down there early, went down with our Mario Kart enemy Bob and his son of Bob and Bob. Went down to downtown. The original plan was there is no plan. It was let's just get down there because, as you know, it's thousands and thousands of people come, and you've seen the pictures. It is just people are blanketing everywhere, especially the banks.
Yeah.
So my plan was
our city does opening day very big. It
used
very
to be
red. It's a hell of a thing that our color is red because it's wild to see that much red.
Oh, it's everywhere. And the Reds were the first team in baseball, and we are the first opening day and the big opening day. We had a couple Giants fans that we ran into that were here, and they said they had just heard about the opening day and they wanted to experience it and everything in Cincinnati and how big of a thing it is. So we
eat a coney, drink a beer.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh, I had a beer.
I thought you were gonna say I had a lot of conies.
No, I didn't have any conies. I had one of the best smash burgers, or the best smash burger you'll ever have.
Okay.
Just outstanding. But so we got down. I parked up at a place called Knox Joseph Distillery. It's a great parking spot that you don't really pay for, that I use on match days for FC Cincinnati. So we came into Over the Rhine because the parade starts at Fenley Market and goes and weaves through the city all the way down to the banks and the stadium and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So we arrive and decide to walk over and visit a friend who is working the door at a new place. Our buddy Clint is working the door, or was working the door today. He's brewing over there, but today's job was to keep the non-customers off the front patio. I decided to become a customer. We became customers, and then we got to take up that front patio and had a great view of the beginning of the. So to become customers, we drank. And we drank. Well, I ordered a couple Bloody Marys. There was their beer called Groove. I had 2 of those. There was another beer called Golden Hour, their West Coast IPA. All fantastic, just great beers. And then the parade begins around noon.
So
we got there just before 11.
does that mean that you're not drinking now?
No, I am. I need to rally, so I guess we'll have something. I will pour something. I forgot.
Right.
I guess that we do that, don't we?
I have an interesting whiskey. Got to drink the water out of the glass. I always put the ice in the glass before the show starts.
Same.
So there always ends up being a little bit of water in the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about this one. I've already had a little bit of it. This is
something different.
This is a gift from the wife. It was our anniversary on Tuesday.
Happy anniversary.
So,
happy anniversary.
Yes. So she got me a bottle of Trade Water bourbon whiskey, small batch from the Barton 1792 distillery.
Nice.
So,
wow.
We're going to go ahead and pop this. It's a 90
That was
proof.
a good cork. That sounded like a real cork.
Oh, real cork. Good bottle. Good color.
Nice.
There we go.
I am just sticking with reliable here right now. I need to get a new bottle in the next week or two, but we're going to the Maker's Mark.
Can't got the Downtown Flavortown glass.
Downtown Flavortown glass. I have got the Skull / Tiki. They say Skull, but I think it looks more like a Tiki or Easter Island head or totem head, or totem pole.
So the parade begins.
The parade begins. We got there just before 11. The parade begins at noon. We've held down our spot. We're drinking. I mean, there's people everywhere. People have set up chairs in the sidewalk. They're claiming spaces. We have passed a lot of the floats as we come in. We've passed a lot of horses as we come in. And I'm being assaulted. Now, what would be funny is if I don't own a cat. Wouldn't that be a fucking thing? Brendan left the door open again and a cat has wandered in.
There's no screens in these windows.
There's no, yeah. Anyway, so forgive me. I got distracted there because I was talking about the horses and he needs his own attention. But beautiful horses. I mean, and I know it goes without saying anytime anyone sees a Clydesdale, but good God, they are just massive. I mean, massive animals. The hooves, beautiful animals. So anyway, the parade starts and there's a lot of your typical, you've got high school marching bands. Something cool that I saw was very different. You got a couple different bands from in Ohio, but then all of a sudden there was a mixture, like they did, like, let's get the all-star band together of all the schools in Northern Kentucky, because it seemed like I just kept seeing it was a mixture of Simon Kenton, Dixie, Connor, that all in one band wearing their own uniforms scattered together, but it was like a mixture of Northern Kentucky representing. It was kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you a job I would not want in a parade that I saw several people have today.
Guy behind the horse.
The guy behind the horse.
Guy behind the horse and with the police.
With a bucket and a shovel.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, that's exactly
I guessed that live on the air.
You guessed that right, 100%. The guy behind the horses, every different horse group that came through, there was always one guy on the back.
Just there to scoop up shit.
Yep. Yeah, he is on shit duty. Do you want to be in the parade?
Yes, I
do.
A bucket and a dream.
Yes.
One day he wants to ride one of those horses in this parade. Right now, that's the Ryan Gosling movie.
Some guys.
He starts off as a shit scooper in a parade and then falls in love with the girl who's like the parade princess, like rides on the float. And he works his way up to riding the horse in the parade.
He's just working behind. You just see his view all day long as the ass of a horse.
Yeah.
And he looks up one day and in the sunlight, there's a person up there that's beautiful.
And the whole
not the whole. I don't want to talk about the whole.
Not the whole. Like the marketing campaign for this movie is based with that I will remember you. That song.
Yeah. Will you remember me? Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You hitting that note was the same as me going.
Ooh, I yeah. I got to Chris Jericho.
Let me start drinking.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So anyway, the parade's kicking. The Grand Marshal comes by. You know who the Grand Marshal was? Yeah, you're not going to guess it if you're just
Not gonna guess.
Chris Sabo. You familiar with
Okay.
Chris Sabo, third baseman?
Yeah, I'm absolutely familiar.
Okay.
He's one of the few baseball players I got an autograph from as a kid.
Nice. Yeah, Sabo was the Grand Marshal. He also threw out the opening day.
My one uncle used to take me down to
the Paradise City.
This sounds terrible. My uncle took me down underneath the stadium and underneath the parking lot. But you know what I'm talking about at Riverfront Stadium, like
Yeah.
the old Riverfront Stadium. After the games, you would go down and underneath in the parking lot where the players would come out. And sometimes they would come out and sign autographs and shit for you. Like a lot of times they wouldn't. You just watch them drive by and go, hey. But sometimes they would come out and drive. But Chris Sabo was one of the few that came out and signed autographs. Anyway.
No, yeah, he was also the throughout the first pitch today and whatnot. I kind of wish he would have just for a second just put the goggles on before he threw that pitch. But no, it was nice. What else did we see? Fireballs. There was a hot air balloon company who didn't have a balloon. They just had the cannon that went and like would just shoot up in the air every now and then.
Just like the thing that makes the hot air balloon go air just without the balloon. Just
Yep. That was kind of their thing. It felt a little bit like, hey, we got a piece from the Mad Max movie and we'd like to use it.
Well, that's like when I went to the local Alexandria City Fair, and like it was like on Main Street. It was like a bunch of the local businesses all set up booths. One of the businesses locally is a gun store. But like because of this fair, there's like, oh, the barbershop has a thing set up, the brewery has a thing set up, the church, like the hot dog stand, all of these places have booths.
Getting their hair cut. Oh, never mind.
No, I love them. No, they loved it. They were just giving out promotional materials.
Stop it out.
But so you go down, you've got like all of the businesses, and then you've got even the local like karate studio had people doing martial arts demonstrations, and then tank.
A tank? Is that
not a full-on tank? It was like the big armored vehicle.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the big armored like 8-wheel vehicle, like the thing you would buy
when SWAT comes in, and
you'd put your GI Joes in it as a kid. It would go over dunes and stuff like
troop
that.
Transporter, gotcha.
Yes, one of those. And it was like, take a picture in the giant Mad Max vehicle. It's like, whoa, no, okay,
nice.
But anyway,
so there was a lot of older lady dance troops, some lots of horses, beautiful big horses. Here's the thing I didn't realize though. I took my camera down there to take pictures. APC, Armored Personnel Carrier. Good call, Bob. That's what you were thinking of.
I'm gonna call it the troop transport from GI Joe.
That's what it is, an APC from when I played my Command and Conquer back in the day. I took my camera down there because I take pictures every now and then, and I have my camera with me every now and then, and I took 400
every now and then. You have glasses with cameras built into them. Take your camera with you every now and then.
I used those today too, and I forgot to upload. It was just a couple. Like I was gonna make a mix of the POV. I really don't know if I want to drink the rest of this whiskey. I am hurting right now, but no, we will struggle through this. But let me tell you about a struggle. Have you ever stood for 2 hours and 20 minutes watching a parade? Because that's how long the parade was.
I didn't realize it to stand that long for a parade.
Had no idea. You know what? It went by. I mean, it was long, and you kept going, I wonder how long this parade is. I wonder how long this, but it didn't feel like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Maybe it was the happiness and joy of the city coming together. Maybe it was the booze. Maybe it was a combination of both. Maybe it was piss off. I'm having trouble. I started early. It's been Bloody Marys.
I love this Christmas Story moment where it's just your Ralphie, shut up and watch the parade, Ralphie.
I think he was talking about the fact that I didn't want to drink anymore.
I think he's calling you a baby for crying about a 2.5 hour parade.
No. Who doesn't want to cry? Everyone would cry about a 2.5 hour parade. You said you wouldn't stand there. But no, if I know my father, it's the fact
I
that
wouldn't go to the parade, first off.
He'll kill me for leaving if I leave any Maker's Mark in this glass. You wouldn't go to the parade at all? No, you know what?
Parade guy.
Yeah, well.
I'll watch them on TV. Like the Thanksgiving Day parade is delightful to turn on in the background.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go stand and watch it.
Hedberg or somebody that said if you walk the other direction, you can fast forward the parade. Or if you walk against it or something.
I mean, that is good logic. Like, I just want to see this quicker. I'm going to walk down. I'm just going to walk down the line of the parade.
Walk the opposite way as they're going by. I mean, lots of people throwing out candy, and I caught a little football that was like a stress ball. And so, yeah, it was good. And then we decided after the parade was done to go inside what used to be Taft's Ale House, which is now Melatonin Brewing, and had some absolutely delicious food. I hear the pork belly skewers are to die for. I want to try those, but I had to go back for a second time for their burger because it's maybe the best smash burger I've ever had. It was fantastic. 4 of us were there. 4 of us ordered smash burgers. 4 of us killed smash burgers. They were fantastic. They had a pool table behind us, and you know what? You didn't even have to put a quarter in. Just have fun and enjoy some pool.
Did you have to put a quarter down though?
No, nobody was really. After the kids got off the table, we were able to jump on there and play a little bit. And nobody really.
That's code for once the kids got away, we ran that bitch, and that table was ours, and nobody touched that table the rest of the fucking day.
No. Nobody was really wanting to play. That I noticed
because we intimidated. We stood around that table like men.
No, but all in all, it was a very cool day. The Reds unfortunately lost. I saw that. We didn't see the game. I mean, I saw the end of the game. I saw the home run that doomed us. And then I took a nap. And that was kind of a lot of I uploaded, you know how many pictures? 444. That's because I'm usually shooting in a burst. So we'll go through them. Maybe we'll have some pictures to share next week.
There you go.
Had it been on a different day, I would have had some to share right now. But there were pictures of parade stuff. Use your imagination.
Use your imagination.
It was horses and kids and people and stuff. But it was all in all a good time. It was good for me because I didn't want to brave the crowds, to be honest with you. I was fighting it.
I worked today. I went nowhere near the crowds. I when the game started, I turned it on my phone, and that was about my involvement.
Yeah, it was. The parade was more exciting than the game, apparently. But I had.
That's kind of always the case in Cincinnati, and that's okay. It's nice to win one.
But I'll tell you that Bet365, which I will always tell you is probably my favorite betting app. That's the one I lean into.
I'm a FanDuel guy.
They super boosted Ellie Dela Cruz for 1 hit today to plus 100.
Okay.
So you could max bet that at 15. I max bet it at 15. Ellie got a hit, made me $15.
There you go.
I did get something good out of the game. What have you been doing? What have you been watching? What have you been...
I went on a trip this past weekend.
Oh yeah, the anniversary trip.
Yeah, since the anniversary was Tuesday, we went
Cleanse my palate.
A weekend. We went on a weekend trip. We went to Powell, Ohio, and Dublin, Ohio, right outside of Columbus.
Okay.
We went to a bunch of cool places. We did a bunch of cool things. However,
Yes.
we ended up just eating a bunch of cool food. Like,
That's always the best.
the first thing we went into town and did was we went to a place called Game Grounds. Imagine. Okay, so Game Grounds is a spin-off of Otherworld. Otherworld is
I
imagine
have
a
always wanted to go
interactive
to Otherworld.
museum. You need
I've
to go. It's
al-
fantastic. I've been so many times. It's so much fun.
I have
There's
always wanted to go to Otherworld
giant
so much.
art exhibit rooms. There's rooms that are made out of mirrors. There's things you walk into that you feel like you're in Stranger Things, where you walk through the closet of like a broom closet, and then the next thing you know, you're in a giant, sparkly, glowing room. And then
Yeah.
let's turn another corner, and you're in a giant tree monster room with like all this stuff. But
Yeah.
they did a spin-off thing called Game Grounds that was like interactive games where Otherworld is kind of art that you walk around and explore and see. That there's a few interactive elements. Game Grounds is games, competitions. You put a bracelet on, and then
Okay.
you scan your bracelet, and then you could use, some are like teams, some are all working together, some are all competitive, and it tells you. And you scan in and you see your color, and then you go and play the game. And there was things where you're in a room that's a gigantic Space Invaders on the ceiling, and there's all these light up Space Invaders aliens, and you actually have a podium with a gun, and you're like pew 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 pew, you're like
Oh,
shooting
that
these
is
Space Invader
cool.
aliens. There's another one
It's
where
like you're
there's
in the
these,
video game.
yeah, and there's like these giant cats, but it's more like, but this one's more like, but then there's one that's more like a carnival game, and it's these giant cat mouths, and you're sliding the food up into these lights to feed the cat mouths. And then you go to one, and it's like Dance Dance Revolution. It's like the mat, but you're playing Tetris, and it plays like old Nintendo. So you're like, move it to the left, move it to the left, move it to the right, move it, like turn it, like move it down. Like you're moving your feet to play Tetris, and you're playing against like 20 people on a gigantic wall. And then there's like one that was almost. Did you ever play like the Donkey Kong games where there's like the rhythm game where you have to boom, 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 and you play the drums?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, that, but in real life.
I was kind of like on Fusion Frenzy, and yeah,
and you've got two drumsticks, and there are these drums, and you're actually playing these drums. And you're playing against people, but all these different games, and like. It was a blast.
Nice.
Like it was $50 roughly for the two of us to go. And we played for like an hour and a half is what the amount of time that they give you for $50 for 25 bucks a person.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. And then they serve booze in there. Like she got a cocktail, I got a beer, walked around, played these games. It was super fun.
Hell yeah.
But then so we went up there. We ended up just going around trying some things at that first night, but then really we had some cool restaurants and places that second day. I'm a big fan, as you are, of a good tiki cocktail, a good tiki drink that's well made. You're not a big tiki guy? I love it.
Maybe. I mean, it's got to be good. There's so many that are just.
So
yeah.
We found this place called
in
Powell, called Huli Huli. It's in Powell, Ohio, the Huli Huli Tiki Lounge. We actually walked in and got to sit right there.
Oh, nice.
But amazing tiki bar. I'll show you the menu here in a sec. But you can see some of the pictures here of what they do. Big, beautiful, like
big island paradise drink.
Like,
see, now I would like one of those cocktails for sure. I love mango. I love things like that. I love tropical.
Yeah, like they have some
and oh man.
Oh yeah,
menus.
Like they have some of the big banger cocktails, but they have some good, delicious, flavorful things as well. She had these two here, the Smoking Eruption, the Blue Hawaii. This version of a Blue Hawaii, because they tell you the recipe they're using Harry Yee's from 1957. So like his recipe. So like this version of it was delicious, fantastic. There's no coconut in this version, which I think there's normally coconut in a Blue Hawaii.
Not a Blue Hawaii usually has coconut in it, but
this one doesn't. This is just vodka, 3-star rum, pineapple, lemon, and blue curacao. I had this Siren Share.
Does that come in the skull like that?
Yeah, it came in like a skull-shaped cocktail. It had pineapple leaves, pineapple frond sticking out the top, and then
Allspice, dram, falernum, blue curacao. This is a very fancy.
They torch cinnamon on top of it.
Hibiscus orgeat. Holy shit! There is some stuff in that cocktail that you don't see in normal tiki bars. That's like cocktail specialty tiki bar.
This was amazing. My second drink I had, though, and you would enjoy this, the Paralos Diosis. This had mezcal, pisco, grapefruit cordial, rosemary syrup, ginger beer, and Aztec chocolate bitters. And then
chocolate bitters.
They torched rosemary on top of it.
Oh man, I remember we had a cocktail at the place we worked at where
they had rosemary all the time. It was one of the most popular drinks because as soon as one person sees it being made,
what the hell is that's on fire?
And I want one of those. And we worked at like a date night place. Well, we also worked at a date night place, and the dude sees his girl. He sees his girl go like, he goes, well, I got to get her one too.
Yep, 100%. And I'll tell you what it always reminded me of it's just because I guess growing up, like pork chops always had rosemary with it for me. Like, is going back to every time you light a rosemary on a cocktail, it's just like, I want pork chops. So,
pork chop. I need a pork chop because of this drink.
Right.
But you've got to also see, you had talked about the food, or you had mentioned the food. We only had the tiki fries, but you could see the food. They do a trio of bao buns. They do wings, edamame, pot stickers, bang bang shrimp.
Wow.
A lobster roll sandwich, a crab cake sandwich.
Damn.
You can get like a shrimp plate.
You're making me fucking hungry, bro.
Dude,
damn.
These fries, tossed in tiki rub, topped with Kahlua pork, bang bang sauce, pineapple salsa. That shit was so fire with a big super booze because combined with the drink that I had, combined with this super, because the amount of X's was how booze forward the drink was. So that's how you could tell how booze forward versus how not booze forward the drink is by this. Like the second one, this was my last drink. This was a great finish. It was a beautiful, sweet, kind of just nice desserty one. This boy,
just lethal.
That'll slap you back.
Nice.
But no, I highly recommend if you're ever going to Powell, Ohio, going to the Columbus area, and you're looking for some place to go here. This place was fantastic. The next day, though, before we left, we went back to Wario's. I had to go back to Wario's. We actually had we had the Italian, the cold cut.
Yeah.
With rosemary ham, sopressata, hot coppa, picante provolone. There was like a spicy provolone.
Wow.
House Giardiniera, the Wario sauce, which is like a spicy mayo aioli. Tomato butter. The tomato butter, they kind of put it on the bread. Imagine garlic butter, but tomato instead of garlic in the garlic butter. So it's like almost like a pasta sauce butter.
Interesting.
Lettuce. Oh, that thing was fantastic. And then we saw a goth bakery. Bite this. In Columbus, Ohio, the Goth Bakery. She does these skull-shaped muffins. The brownies were incredible. We brought some of the brownies home. The brownies were fantastic. I got one of these things called a Skinny Boy. It was like a giant cream and wafer cookie.
It looks like a couple macarons stacked on top of each other almost.
It's a giant thing. Imagine it's like an oatmeal cream pie, but way bigger. Way bigger and thicker. And the cream is fantastic in it. But the one I got was mint chocolate. We also got, we didn't get them, but everybody got these things, these bagel bombs, where it's like the people were standing in line, and we went there just for sweet stuff because we're like, oh, we'll go get a couple brownies and a muffin to take home.
Yeah,
that's where our mind went. we were the only ones for sweet treats. Everyone else was coming here for these bagel bombs, these like savory deals that she does. Apparently, I said, "Is there a
That sounds
menu on
good.
here?" But this stuff was wild. If you get a chance, also go there. Bite This.
Bite This Bakery.
It's a really cool place up in Powell, Ohio, or Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
It was right before I went to a store to buy magic cards. So
Oh, well, there you go.
there you go.
More magic cards.
You want to drink beer?
Yeah, let's talk about beer and let's drink
All right.
beer because I've actually found an article about beer.
You found an article about beer?
Yep.
I've got the big boy glass today.
We're gonna find out what state likes what beer and what not. What do you got?
I've got the Trooper
Alice
glass.
Cooper glass? Oh, I
Trooper.
thought it said Alice Cooper.
I wish it was an Alice Cooper glass. Now I have to find an Alice Cooper pint glass.
I just
no.
saw the end of that and thought it was like Cooper. I don't know.
This
why.
is Trooper, the Iron Maiden, the Trooper.
Okay.
There's an Iron Maiden beer with Robinson's Brewery out of England. I have somewhere I bought like a collector's, like, oh, it's a collector's bottle set because I love Iron Maiden. I'm the group of band. So I
What's
bought
the
beer,
name of their mascot?
and it came with this pint glass. Eddie.
Eddie.
If you look though, Eddie's face, if you can see it in the bottom,
Oh yeah, I
is
see it a little bit.
etched in the bottom of the pint glass.
I have a Pilsner glass
Okay.
for these guys tomorrow night. Let's go, UK.
Oh, let's go, cats. Cardiac cats.
What? Where did my beer go? Oh, here it is.
All right.
You want to talk about yours first?
2.
You got 2. What are you having first?
I'm gonna let you pick.
Okay.
Based on just color.
What's that? I saw like sparkly like a sky. The one on the one that's slightly yeah. It's got some sparkle to it.
This is West 6 Burning Daylight Double IPA.
Good Lord. What's the percentage on that bad boy?
This is a 9.5%.
Jeez.
Drinking that bad boy, drinking that tall boy.
That's
why I got the Iron Maiden glass. It's bigger than a normal pint glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. All right, here we go.
Mine is very simple. I have
Bud Light.
Beer for Humans. Called Beer for Humans from Rheingeist. We're gonna try it out. I've never had it before. It's described as an easy hop ale. The beer, bright, crisp, and easy to like, featuring Mosaic and Centennial hops.
This is danky looking.
Yeah.
That's murky. Like, look at that. Like, you can't even.
No, you're not seeing anything through there.
Nothing.
That's beyond a hazy. That's just a cloudy.
Nothing.
How's it smell? Is it one of those grapefruity IPAs?
No. Stanky.
Stanky? More on that skunky?
I mean, not skunky, but you know that resiny smell?
Yeah.
Smells like it's going to be a little sweet. A little bit sweet. All right, here we go.
I really don't need any more beer today. But here we go. That is good. That is easy to drink. That is an easy drinking hobby. It'd be a good introductory for somebody kind of getting towards more of a pale ale or a slightly hoppier burr. But I have this list of now. Number one, I sent you this article. Did you happen to see it?
Which article?
Do that, but there you go. I sent you an article.
We're live.
And
we'll
they say
we'll do it live.
What blew my mind is it says AOL.com. I didn't know AOL did anything anymore.
Are they still a thing?
This is from AOL. This is their article.
So are they just a news site now?
I guess. I don't know. But there's so Coffeeness, a company that describes itself as a comprehensive resource for coffee enthusiasts, put together some data about beer preferences.
Real quick, they are just a news site now. When you go to AOL.com, it's advertised news, politics, sports, mail, and latest.
Gotcha. So here's what they chose based on Google Trends and data across all 50 states and DC. There is one beer that more states, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Delaware, Hawaii, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming all were number one, with it being for them. What do you think? Don't think crazy.
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, you are correct. Miller Lite is the number one beer in all of those states.
That makes sense.
They said it's a very interesting. They made an interesting point that I was kind of wondering about, and this is kind of true. It makes sense for Wisconsin where it's brewed, but there's probably strong representation out of the service industry, where service industry workers are known to drink a lot of Miller Lite. And that does seem true. The musicians on the stage, when in a lot of bars that I worked at, send up a Miller Lite, things like that.
I know a lot of people that when we bartended, like if they went out, if they drank regular, like, just bottled beer like that, they would go for Miller Lite. They wouldn't go for Budweiser or Bud Light.
The next one, in the states of Arizona, California, Michigan, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia, who do you think it would be?
Go one more time with those states, just because there's one specific that I was...
Arizona, California, Michigan, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. What do you think? Your time is running out.
It's a big boy. It's a big name.
What do you think?
It's a Miller Lite. I'm gonna go with
your gut.
Coors.
It is Coors. There you go. Go with your gut, bud.
Yes.
Go with your beer gut.
Go with the beer gut.
So yeah, it was Coors. Now we're going to get into one of the only international beers on this list, and this is for Georgia, New Jersey, and South Carolina. Can you guess?
Stella Artois.
Guinness.
Fuck. I was the other one I was thinking in my head. I was like,
Guinness.
At first I was like Guinness, and then I thought about, what was the last one? Was it North Carolina?
Yes, it was Georgia, New Jersey, and South Carolina.
My brain went old people.
Oh,
what do old people drink? Old people drink Mick Ultra or Stella Artois.
Well, how about the people of Florida and the people of New York? Both chose the same beer.
Florida? Oh, geez. What is a dude from Florida and a dude from New York? Both.
If I said green, they described it as they're only drinking those neon green sticks of kryptonite.
Wait, what?
They're only drinking those neon green sticks of kryptonite. It started in the 1800s in Amsterdam.
Oh, Heineken.
Heineken, very good. Illinois and Indiana, right by us here. This is one of the cheapest beers on the list. It's interesting to see only 2 states claim it, but it is heavily popular with the college crowd. It is Busch.
Busch specifically, I'm going to go with Busch Light, referred to as I know colloquially as Busch Latte.
Busch Latte.
Busch Latte.
Busch Latte. All right.
We should have Busch. We should once a month or once every so often do trash beer night, where we pick one trash, like once we do, like, we're just gonna drink Busch Light for a whole episode.
Some Natty Light.
Busch Light, Natty Light, Keystone, Mad Dog 2020. Actually, I don't want to step on Bun. There's a great podcaster, Bumwine Bob, and he specifically focuses on drinking those kind of things. And
I love his stuff. He does
like Four Locos and all that. He's great. I would never. I wouldn't want to step on his toes.
He does a great March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
Missouri and New Hampshire claim The big boy, the most classic and iconic American beer. They said
Budweiser.
it is Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. North
Where did
Carolina and Ohio. Here's where Ohio comes in, our other state of our tri-state.
North Carolina and Ohio have the
Yep.
same beer?
Yep. What haven't you said yet?
Well, I said Coors, but that didn't go.
No, Coors was correct before, remember?
Was it?
Yeah.
It was. Coors was number 2.
Yeah.
Mick Ultra?
Bud Light.
Okay, I guess in my brain, Bud and Bud Light were together. So
Now here's an interesting one. Colorado. Maybe not interesting, but Colorado is the only one for this beer, but it is a Denver brewery, if that's a hint for you.
well, it's not Breckenridge then.
No.
Uh,
If I said citrusy Hefeweizen,
Denver citrusy Hefeweizen.
a beer that's known more for its garnish. I actually saw a commercial the other
Oh,
day.
Blue Moon.
Yes, yes, Blue Moon. Colorado
Yeah.
is Blue Moon. I saw a beer the other day that said, this is a Blue Moon, and it had the orange. They took it off. This is not a Blue Moon. I'm like,
See,
well, then what the
that's-
fuck do you call it?
I guess my brain is craft poisoned because I keep trying to think of like,
Right.
well,
We're not thinking of these.
That's probably going to be this brewery. It's the Sierra Nevadas.
I've got one more for you, and you wouldn't have expected it probably, being the one for Connecticut. I'll give you one more hint, it's the other international beer it's another international beer on this list.
It's not Stella Artois.
No. Go south of the border.
Foster's.
No.
Australian for beer.
Oh no, that's way south. That's way south.
Oh, it's down there.
That's down there.
That's down there.
No.
It's down there.
If I said cerveza,
Oh, Corona.
Corona is correct.
Oh,
I love a Corona. That's one of my go-to beers. What's your if you
I went too far south.
if you went to a bar and got a beer for yourself and they didn't have any craft options, what's your
If they have a Pacifico.
a Pacifico?
I love a Pacifico.
That's very random.
If it-
Victoria is my favorite if we're talking about cervezas.
If we're talking, okay, yeah, I guess cervezas. Now, okay, if we're talking just all over, like just like domestics, that's all they got is just domestics.
I
behind
can't
the
believe
thing.
Miller High Life didn't show up on that list. Don't you remember drinking a lot of High Lifes when we were in the industry? I
So
feel
here's
like we
the thing
drank
I've
a lot of High
noticed
Lifes.
as well. Here's the thing I've noticed as well, though. Kentucky, because we're around the Kentucky-Ohio border.
Yeah.
From at least from my perspective, and if I was pressed with the issue, I would say Ohio drinks more Miller High Life.
Yeah.
Kentucky drinks more PBR.
PBR. Yeah, 100%. The bar industries and
So-
the people. Kentucky is PBR and Ohio is. I
Here's
remember
the weirdest
like,
part. In
yeah.
certain instances, I would probably, if they're doing the PBR Tall Boy, which is pretty common, I'll go for the PBR Tall Boy. I'm not above.
Yeah.
That. I'm not above the PBR Tall Boy.
No, you can't go wrong with a PBR. Like my
Um,
dad said, let me put it up on the screen real quick. Give me a PBR anytime.
just you can't go wrong with a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
No.
Also, there's something wonderful. There's something really wonderful about those weird offshoot, not even the domestics, but those like old school beers. Like if every once in a while a Foster's hits.
A Foster's.
Every once in a while. Most of the time it tastes like chunky dog shit. But like every once in a while you're like, okay, I can taste all the things that they say, all the notes that are in a Foster's.
Every once in a while, if I see a red stripe, I'll be like, give me a fucking red stripe.
Dude, a red stripe is a yummy treat every once in a while.
It
It's
is
like,
so.
"Mm,
There
a
used
bag
to
of
be
peanuts without having to chew.
Strauss
It's
House
so
back in the
good.
day had a reggae night, and it was reggae,
Reggae
night.
you can
with,
get red
get-
stripes.
Yeah, you
Like
get red stripes. It was
$3.
so freaking good. Oh yeah, it's like $3 red stripe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, I thought that was an interesting list where some of them went and which way the different states
Now you got me
leaned.
thinking about what the times and the opportunities. See, okay, here's the thing: you're at a wedding.
Yeah.
For some reason, you're going to a wedding. Behind the bar, it's a fucked up night. Like it's a fucked up order the way they set it up. Because like you know how they're like it's only they pick what the groom and bride like.
Yeah.
Bud Heavy, the red can, not the blue.
Okay.
Coors,
Okay.
Mick Ultra, Amberbach. Those are the beer options. Bud Heavy. I feel like you're immediately going to Amberbach.
I might take that Amberbach. You threw that in at the end, and it made my decision easy. Everything else was like, I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll go with Coors because their can is novel, and the Blue Mountains make me happy that they've got some kind of like science on their label. I mean, I
got
don't
like
know.
3 Coors in my garage, in my beer,
Oh.
in my garage fridge, and I keep like thinking like that's just neat.
Good
It's
call out
neat.
from Bob. Coors Banquet as well. Coors Banquet.
Coors. Nothing feels more like playing
Oh.
cards and getting stoned in a basement than a Coors Banquet bottle. Like that. That's
The
like
bottle is
that's like 1978. Like this just feels. This feels like music playing on a record player, and that inevitable smoke smell you can't get out of the furniture.
What's that beer taste like? Shag carpet.
Ooh,
Like, yeah. Shag carpet,
Jimi Hendrix on vinyl.
a flowered couch covered with plastic at your grandma's house. Like, I don't even know if
In
my
the
grandma had a
basement.
flowered couch.
In the basement.
That's where the basement couch was at my one girl. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway. So I've been, I got to tell you, we'll get in a quick little video game segment here. I've got to tell you, I've had a week with Assassin's Creed, bud.
You have told me, and I assumed, because a lot of the world has, even like Will Ospreay and AEW, have been jumping on the Assassin's Creed train.
He's a big Assassin's Creed fan. I didn't realize how big he was, and it started.
They made him like a thing, like a
yeah,
something like
he had a whole entrance to advertise that game coming. He's got the tattoos of it. His finisher's called the Hidden Blade. I mean, and that's the Assassin's Hidden Blade. But I will say this:
I tried to use Assassin's Creed to get you into Magic, and it hasn't worked.
I've got the cards behind me; they're still here. I mean, I can try. Assassin's Creed is just. I would love to have a whole debate about all of the Assassin's Creed. Sometimes I'm seeing all these lists come out that are top 10 Assassin's Creed games, the best Assassin's Creed game. What is the best?
I 99%ed 2.
Yeah.
2 had me. 2 had me by the throat.
If 2 had you, then you should have been good for Brotherhood and Revelations, because that's a trilogy that's perfect. They all play the same.
The other games just got in the way. That's the problem. I'm not taking anything away from those games.
Yeah.
I have 3. I just need to beat 3.
Yeah.
And then I would like to play. Is 4 the Black Flag?
Black Flag, the pirate one.
Like that seems neat.
Oh, very cool.
Kind of neat.
Very cool game. Very cool game.
Anyway,
the technology they have brought about in this game with the environments and the seasons and the day-night cycle is incredible. Like the day-night cycle, I believe, is every 24 minutes, your nighttime, daytime, the sun rises, things like that. But the seasons change, and that's where it gets interesting. And so let's say I'm playing this mission, and this is a great example of what happened the other day. I had been playing for a while, and I had been working on this assassination plan to get into this temple through this little waterway. I got this ability now where I can breathe through a reed underwater and not drown. And speak. So like shallow pools of water, I can lay prone and get in those pools of water. I was going to use that to bypass the outside. And then there was this tall grass I was going to climb in. Fucking beautiful. Got it. Nailed it. Ready to go. Seasons changed. It turned into winter. And I'm like, oh, shit. It's winter now. Oh, well, screw it. Let's go do it. So I go to do that mission. The water's now frozen. the grass doesn't exist anymore because the seasons have changed. So they go through a full season cycle. Like there's leaves falling you can hide in and stuff like that. And so different missions and the way that you play the game and the roles you take on will change based on the season of the game, what current season you're in, what day or night, and the weather. Because if it's raining and thunderstorming, you can run behind guys and they won't hear you. But if it's not raining and you run behind somebody, they hear footsteps, they turn around, they look for you.
But could you like relatively like save the game, quit, restart? Does it change? How does it change every time you log in?
The seasons change every 120 to 180 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, so you'd have to go like do some other shit
Yeah.
and then come back.
So like I'm working on I'm doing things more with my samurai as opposed to I'm using Yasuke the samurai, whose plan for going in places is just he's a tank, he's going to take heads. Although Naoe, she's very stealth, can't take on a bunch of people, but she's an assassin in the dark. She's the shinobi. So
You sound like me talking about all my new magic decks that I keep getting.
Yeah.
This is my squirrel commander. He's a squirrel.
Commander.
He does all these things.
I found it fascinating. I've never had a game that affected me so much with weather and shit like that, where you're sitting there thinking about, and they've designed a huge world that is just, it's daunting to take on, but it's something I can pick at every now and then for an hour here and there after work or right before work. Just like, let's decompress and do an hour of Assassin's Creed here and there. So it's better than any show I'm watching right now. It's got a great storyline. It reminds me a lot of Shogun. I mean, and of course it should, but Shogun is fantastic.
I'll never play it, but from what I've seen, the story, it looks cool. What I'll always give the Assassin's Creed games is, I feel like as an Assassin's Creed fan, no matter what they do, you're going to be okay in the game because they don't seem to change the way the game plays. They add new mechanics and new things like you're talking about with the seasons.
Yeah.
But you can probably be any main character in any of the games and relatively get your shit together.
I would split it in half. There is an Assassin's Creed series that falls on this side that are very linear stories. Not linear, they're all open world no matter what. But there's a set that are more open world and more RPG and more numbers on weapons and things like that. And that would be Assassin's Creed Origins in Egypt, Valhalla, which is the Viking, Odyssey, which takes place in the Roman times, and Shadows, which is the feudal Japan. All the other ones, even the newest one, Mirage, went back to that very assassination-based, good story. Just, how like Assassin's Creed 2 that you played, it was an open world, but it still felt like you had a linear story you followed.
There was stuff that you knew you had to get done.
Yeah. So there's a series of Assassin's Creed.
I feel like
that,
3.
They've got the open world
series.
Series.
A little more narrow. 3 feels, the little bit I played of 3 felt a little bit more narrow almost. Like I feel like I don't have as much freedom to do stuff. I feel like I have to do this and I have to do this, and then you're doing this. It felt very much like a straight line, at least so far. I'm not that far into it.
Right. No, I'm with you. But that's my Assassin's Creed time. I haven't really watched much else. I've been watching, I watched a little bit of March Madness. My bracket isn't great. My mom's apparently doing fantastic in her bracket. I found out because I'm in the same one as hers, and she's doing better than me, and she wanted to remind me.
There you go. Yeah. I haven't done a bracket. I'm not falling in. I'm falling in with that this year. I've been the new season of Righteous Gemstones. We're 3 episodes in. It's fantastic. I love it. I've been playing a lot of Split Fiction. I can't recommend this game enough. I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but just when you think you know what this game is doing, it does a different thing. and then you're in a different. I don't want to be like, it keeps changing the game. The game keeps changing, because it sounds like a generic review or a generic way of explaining it. But like, the mechanics will be different. The way what you're doing, your goal, the way goals are set up,
Yeah.
like the game changes, not just like, oh, it's in a different setting. Like, no, it's like, here's a different game, and then changes, and then changes back to another one, and then gives you something you weren't even expecting. And then my wife and I, we discovered a side quest that was just a side story of a completely different game. That this I will spoil. I will tell you this, because you'll have to find it.
Okay.
It's not linear in the storyline. We went into a side story where this side story literally played out like is it Galaga? Where you're the spaceship.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You're the spaceship shooting
There's
stuff.
Space Invaders.
Around.
No, Space Invaders is at the bottom. It's Galaga. Yeah.
Okay, it's like or R-Type. Like Galaga or R-Type. It's like that. But that's how an entire side mission plays out. And you're in these like rocket ships, and then you're in these, and then it does a first person perspective, and you're like flying around, and it goes back to the Galaga. And like this one like side game will give you a whole, like, you could have charged me $5 for that.
Yeah.
And then you put me back in the regular game, and then that's great as well.
So it's the perfect husband and wife kind of co-op couch co-op game.
I would love to see this company, Hazelight, revive and bring co-op gameplay into the forefront of like video gaming. Like I think the idea of,
apparently all
I'm gonna
three
put a
of theirs
headset
have
on
been
and be like hostile and toxic and scream into a microphone while playing Call of Duty. If you want to do that, great, but I don't think that's not the model that I think is going to be popular anymore. Like, give me something that me and a friend, or me and my wife, or me and my partner can sit and do, and just play together and go, oh, wasn't that fun? Because that's literally what we're doing this entire game.
It reminds me,
that was cool.
It's almost like a flashback to childhood, couch co-op, where you would sit on the same couch, play on a TV that's split screen,
play Gauntlet together.
Play Gauntlet, So
another thing about this game, though, and this, once again, if you watch a trailer, you'll get this. So this is no spoiler, but there's two main characters that are both writers. That's an interesting, because the last game is about a couple that's getting divorced. I'll say that because you learn it in the first like 10 minutes of the game.
That's It Takes Two, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Yeah.
So how much time they put into the stories of these characters is very interesting. And something else to talk about with Split Fiction, and this is funny. I saw a clip online where there was a hidden game, a hidden thing somewhere in the game, that if you beat this side game, you win a free, all expenses paid trip to their studio.
Really?
Yeah, apparently somebody already won it. Because it was hidden. You had to discover it, but they put that in there.
That's cool.
Cool studio.
Bravo.
Hazelight.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I like it. Well, it feels like it's shot time.
Yeah, it does feel like it's shot time. Let me get some more beer in me.
No, you go ahead and do that, because I got to tell you a story. I got a phone call from my mother.
I got to turn a different channel on for sports real quick while you're doing that, because the baseball game ended.
Yeah, I got a phone call from my mother, and you're going to be very happy.
Is she okay?
With part of this. She's fantastic. You're going to be happy with part of this.
Okay.
She tells me she went to the liquor store.
Okay.
And picked me up some mini bottles. And she wasn't going to be nice. So I'm going to add a couple new bottles. And one of them you're going to know very well and be very happy about. Bird Dog Blackberry Whiskey's going in.
Nice.
Parrot Bay Banana is going in. And Evan Williams Apple. And this bastard. Sweet Chili Lime is back in play. I hate that sweet chili lime so much.
Hold on. No.
Do you have one too?
Pull that back out.
I'm going to have to look through the bag. I just started shaking it. Oh, there it is.
We're just gonna ride the train together, brother.
No, I'm not doing it again.
Let's
I just
go.
fucking did it. You do it by
Let's
yourself.
go. No, let's
if
go.
I pull
Do
it, I
with
pulled
me.
it. I pulled it last week. I
Do
can't
it
do
with
2 weeks
me.
in a row the same thing.
I don't have a bad gimmick like you do. Like I don't get the
God
luxury of being
damn it.
randomized.
So you haven't had it before?
No, I just bought it today.
We're both gonna be miserable.
All right. Thanks, Mom. I don't talk to my mom. I'll talk to yours.
Now open it up and get that sweet, like slightly spicy, slightly sweet smell.
Sweet
makes
chili
you-
lime.
Sweet chili
Captain
lime,
Morgan.
Captain Morgan. This belongs in a savory cocktail, not as a shot. No, wait. Last week was dill pickle. Thanks, Bob. 2 weeks ago was sweet chili lime.
Oh no.
Yes, oh no. This is what I did 2 weeks ago. And I was,
Oh no.
yeah, it was terrible. It starts
Oh,
sweet and it's immediately
no.
fucking spicy for some reason because that's what everybody wants to shoot as hot sauce.
All right. Sweet chili lime. You ready? Let's go. Oh.
Sweet, now it's spicy. In the throat. I'm not a fan. You really do like that?
Hear me out.
Hear you out, bullshit.
Hear me out.
You're lying.
Hear me out.
Don't lie to the
Okay.
people.
Like I'm talking, like the big, gigantic, like the big, super frosty lemonades you can get at like the zoo or like at like a hockey game or
Yeah.
like circus. Like
Yeah,
where they
where
put
they're kind
half,
of overflowing slushy out the top.
yeah, and they put like half a lemon, and you see half a lemon floating in that
Yeah.
bitch.
It kind of tastes like that.
No. You take that big of one and put one shot of this in there. Fire.
Caribbean rum with natural flavors. Yeah, the
Sweet
natural
chili
flavor
lime,
of
Captain
ass.
Morgan lemonade. Hear me out.
Natural ass.
Hear me out.
It might work.
Mm.
Look at you going back for seconds. You sick
Mm.
bastard.
I support it. I'm here for it.
Oh, well,
I don't think that's terrible.
good
I
for
think-
you.
I think that. Now, do I want to sit and like sip that on the rocks by itself? Absolutely not.
Hell no.
But does that have a place in the cocktail world?
In the cocktail world, absolutely. I'm never fighting with that.
That's what
never,
I'm saying. Put it in
I
a
never
big
said it
fucking
didn't.
lemonade. Just put that, like, literally that in lemonade, and you call it like Angry Captain Lemonade. Boom, you're
Angry
done.
Captain Lemonade.
You're done. What was it
Captain
called?
Lemonade.
What was it called? What's that? Angry Pirate?
Never mind. Just go to.
Can
go
I
to the
say that
closer.
on the
Go to the
internet?
closer. Go to the closer. Let's take us out. Start hitting the music. Let's see the thing around me that makes it look
Oh,
all
God.
fancy. Show me artwork. There's artwork.
He said no. He said no.
no.
You can't do that. As soon as you talk
Not doing
about
that on the air.
Angry Dragon. That's the episode title. No, Angry Dragon, not Angry Dragon. Angry Pirate.
Angry.
Make sure
There.
you like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. I still got beer.
Bye bye.
I got all this beer.